So Batman Forever is a dramatic departure from the first two Tim Burton Batman movies. However, there is still enjoyment to be had in this movie, and it is definitely not as bad as Batman and Robin. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Batman Forever, which is a much lighter take on the Batman original live action series, especially as Batman Returns was deemed to be too dark, even though it was absolutely brilliant, and it had slightly lower than expected box office returns, especially after the first Batman movie had so much higher returns. They were expecting Batman Returns to increase upon this, but the fact that it decreased, they decided to change their creative vision a little bit and got a brand new director in, but did still keep Tim Burton on. And as a result of this, Michael Keaton also left the project as well, despite the fact that he was offered a much higher salary in order for him to return. And obviously they wanted to increase their merchandise opportunities, as McDonald's didn't want to be associated with Batman Returns as it was too dark. However, with Batman Forever, as it had a much lighter take on it, they did want to partner up with this, and obviously Warner Brothers want to have a lucrative partnership. But what I do like about Batman Forever is that despite the fact that it is very different to the first two Batman movies, it does still continue it, and it is served as a bit of a sequel. The original plan was to bring back the Catwoman character played by Michelle Pfeiffer. However, they changed this up, and instead of bringing back the Catwoman character and having Scarecrow as a brand new villain, they opted instead to have the Riddler and to recast the role of Two-Face, as instead of bringing back Billy Dee Williams, who was playing Harvey Dent in the first movie, this time they have Tommy Lee Jones playing the character instead, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So despite the fact that this particular movie is a lot lighter than the first two installments, as far as the storyline is concerned, it's actually really good. So like all of the other Batman movies thus far, the main focus is obviously on the new villain characters, and we're introduced to both Two-Face and the Riddler. Two-Face first, he just wants to destroy Batman and wants to kill him, as he constantly is thwarting all of his plans. And he does act and behave a lot like the Joker character, but Edward Nygma actually has a brilliant origin storyline, as we're first introduced to this character who's a bit of an eccentric researcher who is actually working at Wayne Enterprises, and he wants to pitch his brand new idea, invention, to Bruce Wayne, but when he gets the opportunity, Bruce doesn't like it, as it is going to be messing a lot with people's brainwaves, which I thought was really great. But then this in turn turns the Edward Nygma character into a complete psychopath, as he does continue his research and kills a lot of people along the way, and then grows his invention into becoming something that is going to be stealing people's memories and accessing all of their secrets. And then we see this character becoming the Riddler, which I thought was really great. And then on top of this, we're also introduced to a brand new love interest, psychiatrist Dr. Chase, who falls in love with both Bruce Wayne and Batman. And then on top of this as well, we also have an origin storyline for the Dick Grayson and Robin character, and then the film then explores whether or not Batman is going to be able to stop the Riddler, stop Two-Face, decide on what he wants to do with Dr. Chase in terms of a romantic situation, and also seeing if he can partner up with the Robin character, as for so long he's been a bit of a lone ranger. So there's a lot going on from a storyline point of view in this movie. Now from a positive perspective, I feel like they balance all of the darkness and the lightness really well, and also balance a lot of craziness with a lot of humor happening in this movie as well. And because of the fact that it is a lot lighter, I feel like it's a lot more accessible to a family audience of all ages. And I also think they balance all of their multiple storylines really well. And in the final act of this movie, there's actually quite a lot of craziness that is happening. For example, Two-Face and Riddler are breaking into Wayne Mansion and are also destroying the Batcave and nearly killing Bruce Wayne and Batman, and also giving Batman a bit of a dilemma to see if he's going to save the Robin character or the Dr. Chase character. So I feel like the final act of this movie actually does have quite a lot of high stakes in this film as well. However, from a negatives point of view, the big main criticism with this film is obviously that it is a lot lighter, a lot camper, and just very different to the vision that Tim Burton had. Apparently, there's a lot of unseen footage with this film, which actually does make it a little bit more darker, and I wonder if we'll ever see that. I mean, we have seen a lot of deleted footage for this film, which obviously didn't make it into the theatrical release, but apparently there is a massive director's cut, and I wonder if we'll ever see it in the same way that we did get to finally see the Snyder Cut. But all in all, I do actually feel like from a storyline perspective, despite the fact that it definitely is a lighter take, it is actually pretty enjoyable as well. So from a cast and characters point of view, like I said, this is a bit of a sequel movie, so it has got some characters returning from the first two movies, but also has got a lot of brand new fresh faces in this film as well, and true larger than life performances taking place in this movie. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Val Kilmer, who is the brand new Bruce Wayne and Batman, and very similarly to James Bond, it's actually quite hilarious as they have brand new characters playing this massive role as well as brand new love interests in pretty much every single movie as well, which I do actually think is really, really funny. As far as Val Kilmer's performance goes, I feel like he's okay. He's not brilliant, he's not awful, he definitely does add a lot more humour and a lot more of a lighter take, and is a bit cooler as a result as well. And one thing that I really did like is that we finally get the Batman character explaining his no-kill rule to the Dick Grayson character, as obviously Dick Grayson is just hell-bent on wanting to kill Two-Face as he killed his parents. And I actually really, really like the lessons that Bruce Wayne was teaching Dick Grayson and explaining why he has his no-kill rule, which I thought was really, really great. Next up we have Tommy Lee Jones, who is playing the Two-Face character. I feel like he is really, really great in showing this really psychotic guy who is just hell-bent on wanting to kill Batman and is just constantly so annoyed at Batman always stopping all of his mastermind type plans. Like I said before, I do feel like he's a bit of a second-rate Joker character in terms of how he reacts, in terms of how annoyed he gets, in terms of how psychotic he is. I feel like he's very much channeling a bit of Jack Nicholson's performance of the incredibly popular Joker character. What I did really like though is that they definitely made the origin storyline of Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face very comics accurate. I wonder what happened behind the scenes in terms of why Billy D. Williams didn't actually return to play the Harvey Dent and Two-Face character, as obviously he played him in the first 1989 Batman movie. Next up we have Jim Carrey, who was absolutely extraordinary as the Edward Nygma and the Riddler character. I absolutely love how he totally Jim Carreyed this role. I love the mad scientist aspect of this character and really hell-bent on wanting to have ultimate power, steal everybody's secrets and minds from across the world, all of his underlying jealousy that he has with the Bruce Wayne character. I love that they really gave this character motive and how obsessed and impressed he was with the Two-Face character. And he does actually do a lot of craziness in his own right as well. For example, being the mastermind with all of these riddles and being able to get into Wayne Manor, finding out who and where the Batman really is, and then destroying the Batcave. I feel like this character was actually really, really psychotic, and Jim Carrey was a true scene stealer. Literally every single scene that he was in, he really did make it his own, and I feel like he literally gave his all in this performance, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. Next up we have Chris O'Donnell playing both Dick Grayson and the Robin character, and I absolutely loved how truly comics accurate not only was his origin, but also his initial costume as well was literally the original Robin costume, which I thought was absolutely wicked. But then they obviously made it a little bit more current and a little bit more applicable to the outfits that the Batman character is wearing. And I loved how vengeful this character was. Obviously Two-Face brutally kills off his parents and his older brother, and you can literally feel all of the emotions that this character is feeling, and I feel like Dick Grayson was so brilliantly captured in this movie, played by Chris O'Donnell. And from a character growth point of view, I feel like he actually goes on a brilliant arc along with the Edward Nygma character. I feel like the two of them, where they are in the beginning of this movie to where they are by the end of this film in terms of what they have learned and everything they have experienced, is really, really cool. And I also really like how obviously this is a bit of a younger character, so he is really experiencing and loving having access to the Batmobile, to the Batcave, really does use it in a bit of a reckless way initially, which I thought was really, really endearing and actually truly relevant into what somebody would do in that kind of a situation. And this character is finally even added into the live action space, as he was originally going to be in the first movie and then the second movie, but they felt there was enough happening in those movies that they didn't need the Robin character, and now we finally have him in the third movie. And like I said, I feel like they balance all of the storylines really, really well. Obviously now since then we have got Brenton Thwaites playing this role, and I feel like he just really now has made this role absolutely iconic in his own right. So I would say Brenton Thwaites' performance is better than Chris O'Donnell. Before its time, Chris O'Donnell did still do a really, really good performance. We've also got Nicole Kidman playing the Dr. Chase character. Ironically, years and years later, Nicole Kidman would once again be playing a bit of a psychologist character in The Undoing, and I absolutely love how she was having a relationship with both Bruce Wayne and with Batman, and how both of these duality aspects of this character are really, really attracted to this Dr. Chase character. We've also got Alfred and Commissioner Gordon returning, although like with all of these movies, Commissioner Gordon doesn't do that much in any of the films. However, Alfred is absolutely brilliant. Always love the loyalty. Absolutely love how Michael Gough is playing this character so brilliantly. And he very subtly does help the Bruce Wayne character understand and accept Dick Grayson and Robin, and really does bring him into the fold, which I think is really, really great. And so from a cast and characters point of view, like I said with the storyline section, even though everything is a lot more light-hearted, I do actually feel that their performances are really, really great as well. So from a visuals point of view, you know, this movie was filmed all the way back in the 90s, so it does look a little bit dated in certain parts. But other parts of it do actually look really, really impressive. For example, we get to go to a circus, and we get to have a live circus production, which I think was really, really wicked. And the way in which Two-Face just infiltrated this space and just was brutally killing off the Grayson family, I feel like this whole circus situation dramatically going wrong was playing out really, really well. Loved all of Two-Face's coins. I thought all of those aspects were really, really cool. I do feel like they could have pushed it a little bit further, as I loved all of the lightness, the darkness, the sugar and the spice, but I feel like they focused a lot more on the Riddler character instead. But had they done it a little bit more with Two-Face, I feel like he could have been even more iconic. Absolutely loved all of the Batmobile, the Batcave is looking really, really wicked as well. I know the costumes of Batman and Robin were really, really questioned, especially as they now have nipples showing on these costumes. All of Riddler's brain technology, I feel like all of those scenes were really, really wicked. I feel like when Riddler was losing all of his memory right at the end of this movie, that did look a little bit lame. But what I absolutely loved is the terror that Edward Nygma was feeling when he could only see this massive giant bat. Obviously he has captured some of Bruce Wayne's memories, and he has captured the dark repressed memories, and just seeing what it would be like feeling all of that, I thought was absolutely crazy. And this kind of came up again in the Titans TV series when Raven was putting all of the evil memories into the Scarecrow characters. I feel like they lifted and shifted that for sure from Batman Forever. And like I said, the final sequence in this movie where Two-Face and the Riddler character are absolutely destroying Wayne Manor and the Batcave, and then when Batman has to select who he wants to save, and how Bruce Wayne is always going to be one step ahead of all of the villains, and how he's going to save the day. I feel like all of those sequences, whilst they do look a little bit dated for sure, but they work really, really well for the narrative that they're trying to tell in Batman Forever. So from a comparisons point of view, I feel like this movie is miles, miles, miles better than the joke that is Batman and Robin. I feel like it's not as good as Batman Returns or the Nolan trilogy, but I would put it on the same level as the first Batman movie, as like I said, there were still really, really great enjoyable moments in this film. And actually I do think it's a lot stronger than the Incredible Hulk movie, all of the Incredible Hulk movies. And I also think it's probably on the same level as the Green Lantern movie as well. And so from a comparisons point of view, I feel like Batman Forever is safely in the middle. So overall, you know, I did really, really enjoy Batman Forever. I mean, of course, it is very, very different to the Tim Burton vision of the first two Batman movies, as this time it's a lot more funnier, it's a lot crazier, a lot more over the top, a lot more theatrical. And I feel like it's probably going to be the last time that we do get to see a bit more of a light-hearted tone being done in a Batman movie in a good way, as opposed to how it was done in Batman and Robin. But you know, I feel like they did a really, really great origin storyline for the Riddler character, somewhat the Two-Face character and the Robin character really, really well. And I feel like they balanced all of the storylines really, really well, and had some really, really cool sequences in this film as well. For example, the Batmobile versus the Two-Face character, all of those sequences are really, really cool. And like I keep saying, the finale sequel was absolutely brilliant as well. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give Batman Forever a solid 6 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of Batman Forever, so let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.